So, good evening. I am from Portugal. I was born and raised in Lisbon, the city of light. And then I moved to Schlieren. So, for the last 3 years, I haven't seen a blue sky yet. And that's why I want to tell you about this blue sky and why it gets to be blue. So there are two reasons, more or less. One is biological. We are going to touch it a bit at the end. And the other one has to do with the physical properties of light. So the light comes from the sun, and it's a mixture of things that we can see, such as the colors of the rainbow, and things that we can't see, such as UV light and microwave radiation. And the light travels unaltered because there's nothing in space. But when it reaches the atmosphere of the Earth, different things can happen. So it can be absorbed, or it can be scattered. And to imagine the scattering process, I want you to think about basketball. So you have a basketball, and you throw it at the wall, and it bounces back. And now you don't have one, you have millions of them. You throw all of them into the same wall, and they all bounce in all sorts of directions, and they bounce into each other as well. That is scattering. So if we go back to the light, the scattering happens because the light interacts with the particles of the atmosphere, and they are really small. So we have these atoms of oxygen and nitrogen. And when the particles are this small, what happens is that different components of light that have different wavelengths, or different sizes, are scattered differently. And the wavelengths that are smaller are scattered more efficiently. So by now, you should be thinking, OK, you have scattering, you have different colors, and the sky is blue. So in theory, the blue would be the color that has the smallest wavelength. But that's actually not true. So the smallest wavelength is the violet. The thing is, the sun doesn't release so much violet as it releases blue. And now the biological reason. Our eyes are also not so efficient at seeing violet. Your boyfriend was not lying to you. So in the end, the sky is blue because of the scattering process in which the smaller wavelengths are scattered more efficiently, because the sun emits more blue than violet, and because our eyes are not so efficient at seeing violet. Thank you.